Hi. I'm more militant today because let's just admit it, this is really, really fucked up. I think a lot of us probably didn't think that this was going to happen today, and we all sort of have been feeling an immense amount of dread. And I think the interesting thing about this is over the last few weeks, um, I've noticed that a lot of people have not been able to kick sicknesses, have had headaches, have had, their ears are popping, they're having, trouble sleeping. And a lot of people have been coming to me from the work I do from a healing standpoint and saying, what is this? And the interesting thing is, and what I'm excited about, you can tell I'm excited, even though what's going on today is deplorable. But I'm excited because what people are feeling is actually the global consciousness. That's what that is. So the idea that we're all feeling sort of overwhelmed and sad and down and feeling like maybe we can't shake this is called energy. And there's obviously a huge difference between negative energy and positive energy, and we all know that, when negative energy comes into a room or someone's negative, it almost feels like the air goes out of the room. That's what you are experiencing, but on a longer scale. And there is scientific fact, I can't remember what it's called, but the idea that there is a global vibration that happens. So when there is a natural disaster or a terrorist attack or things like that, that there is a spike in the energy levels on the planet. And I think what's interesting about this is it was a long, slow burn where we were all feeling great uncertainty. And even though we're in a situation where we all know that this is going to happen. There's definitely a lot of worry, upset, and there's definitely a lot of negative energy in the air. So why I wanted to do this today was because, this is a hard day for me. It was a hard day for, I think, a lot of women and a lot of people of color and a lot of minorities, and in terms of religion and Americans and people around the world with disabilities. This is an archetype, this person, and subhuman, who has been put into public office. It's dangerous. I think we all thought that this wasn't going to happen, that there were checks and balances in place and that we were all taken care of and everything was fine and that this would never happen. And I think what this has done, this negative impact, is essentially it's blown it open, where I think people are realizing that maybe we've been asleep at the wheel. Maybe all these people that we thought were taking care of us and really caring about us and really acting on our behalf are really just motivated by greed and power and money and corruption, and that there's been a lot of collusion going on. And I think if we can take a step back for a second and go, maybe we're all feeling this like horrible feeling because this isn't what we're supposed to be doing. This isn't how we're supposed to be behaving as human beings. And I think we all realize, when you've had a good day or you've had a good meeting or you have a good energy or some experience with someone, you feel good. You feel like you can kind of take on the world. We can, as human beings, vibrate at that frequency. So why I wanted to make this video today and why I wanted to talk today is because it's a really hard day for me. I feel like, as a survivor, I feel like almost like my father has been, elected president of the United States, which is a complete and utter nightmare. Because, it's hard enough to come forward as a survivor or someone who is sort of from a marginalized community, or as a woman, or as a person of color, or again, all the things that I previously mentioned. You want to believe that that doesn't happen, that that's just, it's abhorrent. So it does happen, and it has happened, and I think, obviously everybody knows how I feel about feminism, and I really am excited for the vibration tomorrow to change, and why I wanted to make this video tonight is because you don't have to march tomorrow. But throw as much positive energy as you can into tomorrow and let's fix this balance, because Donald Trump is not in charge of the global consciousness. He was put into power or not put into power or whatever is going on here, but it's not right, it's not okay, and it's okay for us collectively to accept the fact that maybe both options in the US presidential election were bad. And maybe we've ended up here because this is broken and we need to do something, and we've left some people driving the bus or steering the ship, and they weren't paying attention, and they weren't paying attention to us, and now we're about to run into a brick wall. And I think this is a defining moment for humanity where we can say, no, we're not doing that. We're not going to let this guy make all these decisions and do all these things and send us back 300 years. It's not going to happen. And I would ask that all women who are watching this stand up together and talk about this. I have spent the entire day today feeling this, sense of foreboding. My boyfriend broke up with me in a text message out of the blue. So for me, it's like the last thing that I want to do right now is make a video because I'm tired and I feel like I got punched in the face today. But I think we all feel like we got punched in the face. And the best thing to do is talk about it and go, wow, that sucks. Let's change it tomorrow. So I keep looking over here, and it's because I'm ready. I'm going to be making my sign for tomorrow. I'm going to be marching in Toronto, and this is going to change. This is not how it's going to go. The Renaissance came after the Dark Ages, and it's going to be the same thing here. This is not how it's going to go. So stop acting defeatist and stop being sad and stop vibrating with those low-level human beings and rise up, rise to the challenge, look at your, neighbors and your community in the eye and say, what are we going to do? Because this isn't working for any of us, and it's certainly... the one thing that's clear is that this person who's now running the United States of America doesn't give a shit about the average American. He does not care, and he's not gonna care. And what has done this is a lack of education and a lack of insight and division, and we need unification. We need to be nonviolent, we need to be understanding, we need to listen to each other, and I would call on any influencers, celebrities, etc. Use your voice right now and tell people to resist this peacefully. This isn't about punching people in the face, although I can understand that if you're being totally horrible and hateful that you may be punched in the face, and I think that that is a great warning to fascists to know that that could happen. But I also think that it's an important time to talk to everybody, talk to your family and say, enough, like this is silly, it's ridiculous, we don't need to do this. It's not who we are. And when we vibrate in our kindness and in our love, we can actually change this. We absolutely can. I am totally certain of it. And pretending after this that you didn't feel this feeling and you didn't feel the disconnection between the energy and the feeling running through your actual human body, it's connected. We're feeling sick, we're feeling tired, we're feeling all these things because energy is vibrating with, a lot of worry and anxiety. So of course that's going to give us headaches and make us feel bad, and we're not going to be able to shake illnesses, and realize that these two things are connected. Everything is connected. Why we are at this impasse right now, and why the weather was the way it was today, and why things are happening the way they are, is because this is a wake-up call. And I really feel honored to be on the planet when it's happening, and I'm going to thank Mr. Chuck D and Ms. Kathleen Hanna for teaching me how to resist peacefully and intelligently, and I look forward to doing that. And I think that instead of feeling foreboding and fear and all of these things, we need to stand up and go, no, this isn't how it's going to go. This is a defining moment in history, and this guy is not going to define us, and he's not going to be the one who's going to say that this is the way it's going to go. Not going to happen. So I look forward to seeing you guys on the other side, and rise up, fight the power.